Hi, I'm Coach Corey Wayne, and this is my video coaching newsletter. And the topic of today's newsletter is going to be how to spot untrustworthy women. Well, this is a topic that I get a lot of emails on, and when I do phone sessions with guys that are struggling, because especially when their emotions get involved, they tend to be completely blinded by their interest in these particular women. And so I thought this was a good email because this particular guy, he's a divorced single dad, he's got 2 kids, and he says since his divorce at my first book, 3% Man, he applied it relentlessly. He says he slept over with 100 different women. And what's interesting is the woman that he is with right now, he talks about her in glowing terms, and he's like, hey, this is the only woman since my divorce that I would consider marrying. But obviously, as I read through the email, a lot of red flags are popping up. I'm going, okay. So I got a quote that I wrote, and then we'll go through his email because it's not only do we do this, but I think everybody watching this knows somebody that's in a relationship with somebody, and they're going, that ain't gonna work, man. So the quote says, great people to have as friends, business partners, clients, and romantic prospects are extremely rare and hard to come by. People will treat you and show up in your life in ways that are consistent with how they've always treated others in the past. It's not only okay, but essential to guard very carefully who you allow into your inner circle, as most average humans simply do not belong. Think of your peer group as a team of elite special forces. Lots of people will try out to join your team, but very few will qualify and be allowed on your team. It's like most people, I remember when I played football in high school, like sophomore year, because we were as a fairly small Catholic high school, that there were enough slots that pretty much everybody that tried out for the team made the team just because of the numbers. And a lot of people that watch my videos and just regular people in general pretty much just allow anybody onto their team who shows up for the tryout. And then they ignore all the red flags and all the bad things that are happening. So with that said, let's go through his email. He says, Corey, I wanted to say how enlightening your book and content is. Honestly, it saved my life. I'm a divorced dad of 2, and I was in a seriously bad way post-divorce. I realized how beta I was with my ex and came across your book. Short story, I picked my sorry ass up, fucked nearly 100 women, and went the other way. I applied the work from your book, and although it was an unstable time in my life, I literally went from 0 to hero. That's a lot of women to sleep with and not feel anything for any of them. It's slightly psychopathic to do that. Now, I'm just saying that to share yourself, your body, risk getting a disease with that many random women, maybe it was out of revenge, I don't know, but that's a high body count in a short period of time, bro. Just giving you my opinion. If it makes you happy, God bless you. I've also bought a gym in this pandemic, risen above fear and panic, and again followed you. I honestly can't thank or say how helpful you have been. He says you get a free lifetime gym membership if you visit the UK. Your work is amazing. Well, thanks for the free gym membership. Don't know that I'll ever be going back to the UK anytime soon because you guys are locked down over there, man. The communists are fully in control of the UK. Women. So I had a nightmare hot ones, and I'm a sucker for hot women who display alpha female qualities despite also hating them. So maybe just sleeping with women and blowing them off, it was a little bit of revenge for you. I don't know. Like I said, it's a little bit psychopathic to go through 100 in a short period of time after a divorce. That's a lot of women, dude. It's a lot of drinks. That's a lot of, whether it's dating apps or a lot of approaches. That's a lot. After many women sweet, submissive, and downright fucking nightmare ones, I can honestly say I've had my fair share of them and their drama. I've learned so much. I would say you probably still have plenty more to learn. You must unlearn what you have learned. I have realized women can really weaken us and distract us from our purpose. If you're not centered and you don't believe in yourself and what you're doing, absolutely, because they're going to find the chinks in your armor and they're going to test that weakness. And if you're not too sure of yourself and what you're doing, they will discover this and they'll exploit it to help you either change your approach, change the way you're looking at things, or maybe change your mind completely. I have a current girlfriend who I've had for 8 months, and she is the only one post-marriage that I'd consider marrying again. We started off amazing, but now she is driving me nuts. She's driving you nuts, and you're going, oh yeah, I would totally marry her. Think about that statement, bro. I'm aware it's some of my insecurities too, which I'd also like to thank your book for helping me identify this, but here's where I really need your help. So the bottom line is he's obviously blinded by his interest in this particular woman. And he's not too good at spotting women that are trustworthy versus those who are not, which will become very clear in the next few paragraphs. She's a gorgeous, smart, independent woman with no baggage. Are you sure about that, dude? She's 37. She's very attentive and loving, more so than any woman I've had. She is very alpha and has calmed down as I've asserted my position in the relationship and led with actions, but she constantly has too much male attention. Let's see, what did he say about her? Very attentive. No baggage, he says. Sure. No baggage at all. None whatsoever. He says, I made the mistake of asking her about her past, and she's basically had a 20-year-long fuck buddy that she constantly revisits between relationships. Oh. 20 years. I read somewhere, they said if somebody's in your life for 7 years, it means they're going to always be in your life. So, hey, if they've been hooking up for 20 years, like Gerald Celente of the Trends Research Institute says, current events form future trends, I don't think he's going to be going anywhere in her life. You've only known her for, 8 months? He's known her for 20 years. He's always sniffed around, and she cheated on her ex 10 years ago with this guy, and I've got the burden of keeping this secret. She's a gorgeous, smart, independent woman with no baggage. Remember that earlier in the email? No baggage at all. None whatsoever. She claims she doesn't sleep around. And this guy has been her lifeboat in between all her relationships, even though he has a missus. Oh, so he's married. And I don't know if that means he's married or has a girlfriend, but he supposedly is in a relationship with somebody else, even though he's totally in contact with your supposed girlfriend. But she's got no baggage. I am angry, but good on him for having so many options. I can't be a hypocrite, as I have cheated before and paid the price and felt shame, but had the balls to go to counseling and better myself. Well, that's the difference. You recognize that you had no integrity and you operated from a place of integrity and you went and got some counseling. Now, does that mean you've actually permanently changed? I don't know. He says, not only this, but I am becoming suspicious and jealous now, and that's time to reread your book again to pull me back in. I feel she doesn't set boundaries with men and constantly flirts and uses them to gain leverage. I've seen this with so many of her friends, sniffing around, which lots she's slept with. She belongs to the streets, bro. Come on, man. The only one you'd consider marrying. She belongs to the streets, dude. You can't turn a hoe into a housewife. I know this is a part of a new relationship, and as things go by, these orbiters go away, and I feel that where as a man, you have to stay strong. The thing you're ignoring is the fact that she likes this attention, and she's obviously inviting it. A good family-oriented woman is just simply not going to do these things, dude. A chick who just doesn't value it, who's a little psychopathic, kind of like you are, sleeping with 100 women in a short period of time, and you felt nothing for any of them. You shouldn't use people as disposable commodities. If you're not that into them, why? Why? It's like glorified masturbation. But it's your body, it's your life, you do whatever you want. However, I looked on her phone this week and saw a male colleague weasel trying it on and felt it was disloyal that she engaged in chat regardless of her telling him about me. He's definitely pursuing her, and I can handle the attention she gets, but I'm seriously questioning her integrity as to why she feels it's appropriate to reply at 20:30 in the evening. So that's military time. So what was that, 8, 9 o'clock at night, I guess? 8:30 at night? Do you know why it's appropriate for her? Because she belongs to the streets. It's a true story. She's a street walker. She's a street creature. Bottom line is that I don't feel it's morally right what she's done with her fuck buddy, but the past is the past. Well, obviously it's not the past because they're still in contact. Current events form future trends. See, she's consistent. Jared Salente was right. And I completely understand your advice on jealousy and how it makes women lose attraction. At the end of the day, she's behaving like somebody that didn't get enough strokes as a kid. And she's a liar. She's a cheater. She likes male attention, male coworkers. I mean, at the end of the day, she's giving out her phone number to male coworkers, even though she supposedly has a boyfriend. Now, why would she do that? Yeah, she belongs to the streets because she doesn't care. It doesn't mean anything to her. She's 37. You ain't going to change her. She was this way before you met her. But people go, oh, I got Corey Wayne's book. I'm going to use this to make her into the perfect woman. You can't make good wine from bad grapes, dude. The purpose of the book is to help you identify these shady behaviors. And there's like red flags everywhere. And you're like, oh, I would seriously consider marrying her. Totally. Great thinking. Obviously, I've asked her about the FB, Facebook, as her messaging a male work colleague has pissed me off. She likes the attention. She didn't get enough strokes when she was a little girl. I now feel disgusted that this woman I love has recently, 2 months before we dated, fucked her 20-year fuck buddy again. Dude, she's consistent. This is totally not surprising to me. I'm like, of course she did. Of course she did. He's always going to be in her life long after you're gone. I'm confused as she had the integrity to tell me about him and she didn't need to, but I'm also confused if women do this to create jealousy and control. It's full disclosure. This way she can say, hey, I didn't lie. Just, you don't have to worry about him. I can control myself. I can keep his penis out of my vagina. I have total willpower. We have fallen out massively after I confronted her about messaging men at work and why they have her number. Why they have her number? Because she belongs to the streets. I've also stated to her my values. She don't care about your values, dude. She's like, whatever. Means nothing to her. What I expect from a woman, how I treat them as a man with my loyalty and integrity. Well, you're making the mistake of assuming that loyalty and integrity means something to her. Look at her actions. It means nothing. Zero. I have asked her to let me call her fuck buddy and for her to have the integrity to tell her ex, who she's still friends with, what happened and why she left him. It feels controlling, but I want to eliminate this dirty secret and, to be honest, for her to have the balls to make sure this is over, as it's making me feel horrible knowing this orbiter for 20 years is an option. He's still going to be option long after you're out of her life, dude. She ain't changing for you. She's 37 years old. Come on. people don't change who they are. They may become a better version of themselves. And obviously, she might just become better at hiding it. And maybe she doesn't do it as much, but you ain't going to change her. What's the saying? It's like some of the, she's not yours. It's just your turn. That would apply in this particular case. I see a lot of fucking dudes throwing that shit all over my YouTube channel, but in this particular case, that would definitely apply. Why? Because she belongs to the streets. She belongs to the streets. She told me she's blocked and deleted his number, but let's be honest. With today's tech, it's easy to get a hold of someone again. Corey, I'm a bit lost here between being stable and not letting any of this affect me. Obviously, it is affecting you. Or by having the balls to take action and address this like I did. I'd really appreciate your opinion here. Dude, you can't turn a hoe into a housewife. It's not your job to be Captain Save-A-Hoe and fix her or be the white knight or save her from whatever happened in her childhood that caused her to think that this is how you have relationships with members of the opposite sex. Your values are not aligned. Now, obviously, you yourself as a reformed cheater, because you went to therapy and counseling, hopefully you live up to that. But at the end of the day, as soon as you decide to cheat, you cheat. The key is consistently, just like the person that promises that they're not going to do drugs or alcohol anymore. It's like every day you're making that choice to go 24 hours without a drink or a SWAT, or in Hunter Biden's case, some crack. Like Whitney Houston said, crack is whack. Or Rick James said, cocaine is a hell of a drug. You go 24 hours and you make the choice not to go over to the dark side and do bad things. But, she's a fuck buddy, friends with benefits, sex playmate. That's it. She's not wife material. It's like if I could reach through the camera virtually and smack you, have you take your right hand to reach out and choke yourself, I would definitely tell you to do that, because you're delusional thinking that you're going to make this girl, or you're going to use what you learned in my book to make her a changed woman. It's not your job. It's not your responsibility. This is the way she is. So you can either continue to hang out, have fun, and hook up with her until you find a woman with integrity, or you can leave the situation and tell her to go on down the road, because at the end of the day, she belongs to the streets. So if you haven't read 3% Man or my second book, Mastering Yourself, you can read them both for free at understandingrelationships.com. All you got to do is subscribe to the email newsletter. And if you'd like to get one of these sweet She Belongs to the Streets mugs to remind yourself not to try to turn a hoe into a housewife, go to teespring.com, look up the Coach Corey Wayne store, and you can purchase as many as you like. Give them to friends. And if you'd like to book a coaching session with yours truly, go to understandingrelationships.com, click the products tab at the top of your screen, and book a coaching session with yours truly. Until next time, I will talk to you soon.